having like
an
intermission.
Sorry, I got to pause you for a second.
Go ahead.
Pike Hunter, you still there? Can you hear them now? We had a little technical issue at the start with audio with you two. I think it wasn't on the wrong setting. Is he still here? Hang on a second. Okay, sorry, keep talking. I'll talk to him in the chat. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Yeah, and then doing that this morning. That was interesting. I learned quite a bit about the program, and then I learned how to you can go on and then you can add things and then put them in a sequence so that your intro can start up, and then after your intro you can have background music while you're waiting. Say you put it in standby, we could be in the background chatting, and then you can flick it forward by clicking down, and I don't know, it's pretty cool. It's pretty neat, actually.
Nice.
I was having so much fun with it, just horsing around with it, but it's also something new. So
we're actually live right now, though, right?
Yeah. As soon as I said or whatever, we switched over.
One problem about drinking, you forget to bring your laptop so you can chat and do everything. I don't. Last time I did a live, I had my laptop so I could, chat with people that are leaving comments on the live, and I'm just sitting here without my laptop. I'm like, damn it.
No, it's no big deal. No. Is that usually what you have downstairs then when you do your videos there?
Right here?
Like on your laptop usually, or do you just record off your phone usually then, or?
I don't do a lot of lives. I'm just saying, the couple times I've joined in with lives, I will have a laptop with me just so I can, check if people are in the, dropping comments, on YouTube on the live, I'll reply back to them. But so if anybody has been leaving comments for me, just so I can, sorry.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to figure out, even when I hit chat on through Streamlabs, I have to go to another. It shoots me to a browser, but then it opens it again. I can't actually talk in here, which is kind of weird.
I can hear myself on the live stream.
Can you? Well, actually, can you go back to the minute into when we first started? You probably can't hear you guys, is what one guy said, Pike Hunter said, but it should be good now.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I think so. That's what he was talking about there. Kind of screwed up. Apparently, I had to switch another setup.
I've never done Streamlabs before. The only thing I ever did was the one, I forgot the company, the one with the little duck on it.
That's StreamYard then, I think, right?
StreamYard, yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I used OBS a couple times before, for gaming, for streaming, but I've never used Streamlabs or StreamYard, so I just downloaded Streamlabs. But apparently, you have to, for more than one guest, is a subscription. I didn't know that till tonight. I was trying to add you guys. I'm like, because I had Brian in both of them. Like, what the hell? Then I tried to get him out to get you, and then it booted him. Then I said I had to upgrade or whatever. But whatever, I guess. I didn't actually know that, or it would have been done a little sooner.
Right.
So what are you going fishing for then next, or what's your plan, Brian?
I should have went on a Friday because my stepfather went out to a pier near our house just from the pier, not even going out in a boat or anything, and he's been crushing walleye and perch and even smallmouth.
Oh, really?
It was beautiful. It was beautiful on Friday. It was like 70 degrees. I don't know what that is in Canadian there,
jealous.
or in Celsius. Yeah. But now I think I'm gonna go out on Monday. It's gonna be pretty windy. It's going to be about 40 degrees. It's going to be cold. I think I'm going to go out for smallmouth because I know a couple guys have been crushing them. So
yeah, biting pretty good
now.
Go out
for smallmouth, or if I don't go out, if it's too windy to go where I want to go for smallmouth, I might go out to Harson's Island like I always do. I got a right here. I got this. I want to try this glide bait out. I got the 6-inch.
Oh, nice.
What is this called? I got it right here. It's a Thunderhawk Cha-Cha Glide 6.
Oh, okay. The tail looks pretty nice, hey? Is it soft rubbery? Just the fin tail? Oh, cool.
Oh, yeah.
It's not too expensive. I've never thrown a glide bait before, so I asked a couple guys. I wanted to start off kind of cheap, and that's only $15
for that one.
Some of these glide baits are crazy.
Yeah, they're expensive, 30 some bucks for lots of them, hey?
Some even more, some are $60. So I'm like,
oh. That's too much to lose on a first cast, man.
Right.
Oh God, I'd be mad.
See, you just know Pike's gonna break you off.
Exactly.
Fast,
I think I'd have to use a big leader for sure if I was running that for $60 a hook. Holy cow, that's a lot.
Right.
I've seen lots of $20, $30 ones up here, for the bigger pike ones I was using, but yeah, they're expensive. I guess it depends which brand too.
Yep. So I'm gonna try that. I think I'm gonna go to Harson's Island on Monday. I don't know if you know Joe Nager. He said he went up to Harson's. He was catching a lot of catching a lot of bass on top water still.
Oh, really? Hey, with the temperature.
This thing goes a little bit below the surface, you know, maybe like 6 inches below the surface. So I figured that might be good. So give that a shot. I might even throw the, you know, when I joined on the stream here before, you know, before we started live, I had that mask on. I might throw the mask on and make a Halloween video out of it, like I did, like I did last year.
I was just gonna say, I remember you did that last year, and that's your same. I thought that was your same mask you had on there.
See, I thought that thing was gonna. I thought that video was gonna. I thought that was a pretty damn good video, and I thought that thing would explode, go viral. No, I think I got like 400 views. I thought that thing was amazing. I think, you know,
the way it goes, I guess.
You put all this work into a video. You think this thing's gonna go viral? You know, who else is Who else is going around in a ghost face mask like slaying pigs? I go out there, and then you know, here's your 300 views. Yet I'll put some deer noises on there. 1,000.
I was saying I'm gonna bring out the deer call to get some fish. Go bleed it out in the water. Call them in.
Right.
Yeah. What brand did you say that hook was? You're using that glide? What
That's the Thunderhawk Cha-Cha Glide 6 right here.
Okay. There's so many brands and names. Like I can't even keep track. I don't even try to keep track anymore. I just watch some and usually forget the names. If they work, I'll remember, try and get one or whatever. But
yeah, there's all kind. That's not even a brand I had ever heard of. Like I said, I just asked somebody. I'm like, hey man, I want a cheap kind of entry level glide bait. I never tried it, but you know, I know guys crush them on it. So like, try this out. I think there's some other ones called like the S Waver. I forgot who makes that, but that, you know, it's a little more expensive. But this thing looks really good in the water. Like I tried it one time, I didn't catch anything on it. It was just a day I got pretty much skunked. And
that never happens with us. Come on, we never get skunked. You just don't show it.
You know, I've had a damn good year, and that was the first time like in a long time I've been skunked. Like legit, not a fish, not a bite, nothing. So
really,
hoping for a little redemption on Monday for sure.
Oh, man, the last time I went out a couple times since I helped finish the one farmer harvest, and I think that's about it. I only had like 3 videos since then, so I didn't have very much. I watched you guys pretty much go fishing all the time, but I didn't have much service, so I couldn't watch you guys when I was fishing or whatnot, or when I was helping with the farmer. The service is kind of shitty, so I just talk to you guys at nights or text you. That's about it.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, I definitely didn't get. Well, I was out fishing every weekend. I haven't.
It's in that room, probably. Hang on a second.
Not in a while, anyway. But I do have one coming out soon.
Do you have a channel, Jason? I don't even think I've seen your channel. If you got one.
Yeah, it's Adventure Time Fishing and Hunting.
See, I don't think I'm on that. I got to write that down though.
Yeah.
Adventure Time Fishing and Hunting.
Yeah, I did a bunch of videos this summer, but I've also been working on a bunch of different guide things too all summer. So when I had time, I was putting out. I was filming. I just haven't edited a bunch of stuff. But now it's ice season, so I'm kind of like, well, I guess it's all videos for next year, right? So
you'll be first out as soon as the first break of water. Then you can post that.
I'm gonna have a mad mess of some pretty solid content come out this spring.
Yeah, that's the best too. If you can save some for the beginning of the next year, like if I had some saved for ice for the following year, that's so cool. But I just post everything. But if I had an extra video, it would be the perfect time to do that too.
Yeah, well, it usually happens because like November kind of hits and it gets close to November for us, and like we get 2 weeks to 3 weeks.
That sounds good. Give me some.
Right? I'll take one too. Please.
Yeah, deliver.
Yeah. Can we? Do you think they'd? What is it? Send that through
Uber Eats.
Uber.
The last one's like an expensive drink.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to slurp the hell out of it. I'm sorry about that.
It's good. I had to say something. Somebody had to say something. That's funny.
But it always finds like our fall is so quick. Like it's literally a month.
It turns quick and all the leaves are like gone. It's just
like August. I have one tree in my yard in August. It starts to turn, and I know it's coming. When
you blink and then they're all gone, and then all gold, and then you blink again, they're on the ground.
Yeah, exactly. So I've got a video. I'm debating. I might put it out tomorrow.
Yeah, may as well throw it out if you got it ready.
Well. It's a video I finished late ice season last year.
Yeah, just call it early ice, man. Let's go. Here, as you're drilling through 3 feet of ice.
Early
ice, and it's
is like,
3 feet, man. Ah.
yeah.
They won't know. Just say we got a sudden freeze.
Yeah. And then I've got another video that I did where I was chasing big pike, but that was the one I was telling you, Cody. It took me like I was trying to catch a 40-inch pike, and it like I was about a year and a half fishing different waters that I knew potentially had them in there.
Oh,
But
okay.
just like, and now it's a bit of open water, and I literally spent a year and a half off and on between different other things, like fishing lakes that primarily had pike in them, and some big pike too. And so it's actually a series, and I might after this, I'm finishing off one video right now, and then I might start editing that series, and that might be the first set of videos I put out.
Yeah, it's nice to do videos like that too, if you can kind of like space them out and do like a whole segment like you've been doing, other than a little bit different concept.
Yeah, I like the series actually. It's nice because you go out, you do it, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you're always gonna be like, it's not always videos where it's like, oh, I went out and I hammered fish. It's like I went to an area I've never been.
Yeah.
And I started learning it, figuring it out, right? And it's more the story behind it all, and then it builds up to the point where you actually land what you're looking for, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Have you watched any videos? Have you met him before, Brian? Jason, you seen any of his videos or anything, or is he first time you met him?
I when you mentioned him, I went on a little bit and I started watching some of the stuff, like some of your kayak stuff or whatever.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But
I didn't know if you guys watched other videos yet, because you follow so many people, and I don't remember if everybody follows everybody or everybody knows everybody.
Yeah.
But
I follow a lot of people, but I don't always get to.
Oh yeah, I'm the same way too. I have so many so many subscriptions, and I don't watch. Like I try to, but there's so many I can't keep up. So it's like as much as I can.
There's so many. Like I have a handful. Like I used to watch. Like when I had the time, I used to watch so many videos, especially at work.
Yeah,
I was talking to you, Cody, earlier. I can't get away with that anymore. Like I used to, especially I started this YouTube. I started this YouTube thing during COVID, and it was easy to watch during COVID because we were so slow at work. I would just be, I'd be doing not editing, but I'd be doing things on my page even at work, and because we just weren't doing anything.
Yeah,
but now we're back. We're kind of back to normal, and yeah, I was mentioning I got a little trouble at work for being on YouTube. So
boss caught me, whatever.
Right. So I gotta pick and choose what I can do, and obviously you're one of my favorites, and there's a handful of other guys that
thanks.
I try to stay on,
It's hard though, regardless though. It's just so many.
There's some channels I really, really like that I just feel bad because I just haven't been on them, and I try. It's just
I think everybody understands it. Whatever, everyone has other things to do all the time.
Yeah, it's not something I'd worry about too much. Like,
what
happens to me is I'll go on and I might not watch someone's for a while, and then I'll be, I don't know, like especially summertime when I'm working all week, I'll be editing what I can, and then I will try and put like an hour aside where I go on and I watch some stuff.
Make some time or so. Yeah.
Yeah, I try to put a little bit of time. It's just my veg time, really.
Yeah.
And you go in, absorb everyone's stuff, and then I go and I edit. But then there's times where I just get so bloody busy, and then I'm not watching anything. And I'll go on and I'll see someone's thing that I haven't watched in a while, and I'm like, oh, I should go watch the thing. And I'll binge watch. It'll be like, boom, 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 boom.
That's weird.
Well, there's some people I want to watch too, and then and nothing against these channels, but I'll go to watch your channel, and they got like I don't know if I know Cody doesn't do this, but it'll be like a 25-minute video. I'm like, bro, I just don't have time.
It's hard to watch longer
for
videos.
A 25-minute video. For myself personally, I try to keep mine about 8 minutes or less.
Yeah.
And just because I know personally, I don't care how much I like you, it's just really tough.
Yeah.
To watch like a 25-minute video.
Yeah, and the thing is too, everyone's so used to short content now. People just like don't want long videos. I don't think as much anymore. That's my opinion. Because TikTok shorts and like YouTube shorts, that's all people want to watch. I think the majority, anyways. I think.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it's why Larry does so well too, because Larry's fishing. I think most of his videos are pretty short, so
Yeah.
it's just like it's like 2-3 minutes. Boom, he's done.
Yeah.
And
You have time to
I think a
watch
lot
it
of
all
people,
too, which is nice.
yeah, I got actually he's one of the channels I've been talking about where like, dude, I used to watch his stuff all the time, and I just haven't hit. Even though his videos are 2-3 minutes long, I'm like, man, why haven't I visited Larry's channel?
Yeah.
Because Larry, he's one of the best at going around and watching everybody's stuff.
He's good. Yeah, I like him.
I'll post a video and he'll watch it. I'm like, man, I haven't checked. I'm like 5 videos behind on Larry because he posts so much.
Yeah.
And it's not. It wouldn't even be that hard to watch. It's just I just haven't. I feel bad sometimes when
yeah,
like,
it's
man,
tough.
I'm like falling off.
Yeah. Larry's from Australia, Jason. He's got some
nice.
Yeah, nice fishing down there. It's one of his latest videos I watch. I forget, it's like a couple back maybe now. He got like it's not apparently not a stingray, but it's something that's like a shark, something that looks like a stingray he caught or something. It's kind of neat. Or no, a manta ray, sorry. Manta ray, not a stingray. Yeah, it looks like a manta ray or whatever the hell, but it's a smaller version shark. I don't know what the hell he called it, but it's kind of neat looking.
Cool.
Yeah. See different things too. It's kind of cool, yeah, different continents and shit. See different everything, species that you not used to seeing.
Yeah.
Right.
Oops. Yeah. Yeah, you my videos are not 8 minutes long.
Yours are different. Yours are like storytelling ones though too. It's just kind of a different style though too.
Oh,
he has like lots of voiceovers and stuff.
See, now I feel like a total idiot.
Oh, don't at all, man. Listen, like when it comes to like content,
longest videos on the internet. That guy, long, not just
joking. What I get for not doing my homework.
Now.
Oh man.
No.
He's just saying they're hard to watch. That's all. They're just not like time wise to get it all watched in a sitting.
Like,
that's all.
Because like for myself, like. I like my short videos too sometimes, but so like my tutorial videos, stuff like that, like if I'm doing like a quick like Tidbit Tuesday kind of video thing, where I'm just like trying to show someone a specific thing on what to do and how to do it,
right?
I'll keep it short. Like I'll try and keep it within 10 minutes because that's your attention span basically, right? For a lot of people who are watching, right? But then I also watch, like if you watch there's Lost Lake, Xander Budnick. There's like a lot of like canoe stuff like that, like exploring stuff. I'll watch that, and a lot of those videos are like 30 to they're like a small movie, right?
Yeah, everyone's unique, different styles, whatever guy
100%,
100%.
Like it's not for everyone, and that's totally okay. Like it doesn't matter. Like I don't care.
Yeah, I kind of go in spurts too. Sometimes I like watching really long ones, and then shorter ones, and whatever.
I like
they're done right.
Films.
If they're done right, there are some that I have sat and watched, 20, 25 minutes. If they're done right and I'm really into it, I can watch it. It's just my only problem with watching something that long is that with like 3 kids and a wife, full-time job, I work like 10-hour days. It's not that long, but
it's just adds up.
There's usually not. It's tough to watch for me just to get the time to do it.
Oh, it can be. Yeah.
Totally.
Now, like, say somebody I watch all the time, like somebody who's a favorite, like, okay, Cody, I watch you all the time. Say for some reason you started putting out 20, 25-minute videos, I would watch them. But
liar.
No, I would. I would.
No, it's good.
You make me laugh. Like comedy is my first love, fishing is my second. So the fact that you make me laugh.
I more so stick on the comedy side more than like technical, I guess. I think that for me anyway, it's just the way I do things. So yeah, just who I am, I guess.
Right.
Oh, another. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, as far as long videos, like last year, I did maybe a 20-minute video. It was like the best day I ever had fishing. I caught tons of like 4-pound bass. Had like the greatest day ever, and nobody watched that damn thing. Like when I watch the
that's how
it
goes. I think with every video, hey, you think it'll do great, it doesn't do that great. You need to throw something together quick, it's like, it's not gonna do that good, and it does better. Like what the fuck?
It was the most epic. It was the most epic smallmouth day you could ever have on a kayak. I bet you nobody's ever had a better day than I had on that kayak, even like pros, and nobody watched the damn thing. Like it gets like 300 views. Gets like 300 views, like a 10% average view time, and it just sank into the toilet.
Yeah.
So then
that's the way it goes. I think that's YouTube in a nutshell, man. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should have put cleavage in the thumbnail. That would have done it.
Yeah. Brian's
Should've.
cleavage.
It sells.
Ew, fish and bass. Yeah.
Show some leg.
That's funny. Yeah, I know exactly how you feel though. It's the same thing.
Well, I've had like some fishing videos where like you had a good day. Now, like lately, I've been fishing a lot of rivers. So some of the rivers I'm fishing, there's a lot of good fish. There's the odd big fish in it, but a lot of times it's like 6, 12-inch trout kind of thing, right?
Right.
I'm exploring like all sorts of creeks, and some rivers they do hold decent fish in them, and sometimes they don't. Depends really, or I'm just in the wrong spot and the fish are way upriver. But I had a fishing film I put out 2 years ago now. I think so, something like that, a year or 2 years ago, and it tells the story about like I went to this river that I've been trying to fish when I first got into fly fishing, and went and figured it, like learned how to fly fish, stuff like that. I went to this river, figured it out myself, did all the planning, and like it took me like 3 days, and I had been missing fish all day, and then I think I landed 1 or 2 fish in the whole video, and the video is like 5 minutes long.
Yeah, it's the journey, right? Some days, some videos,
right? The whole setup to the whole thing, that's got over 12,000 views.
Nice, yeah. See, like some people just want to watch the whole journey there. They don't care about just getting fish. They want to see like everything getting there or whatever.
Then you get videos that do well, and it's like you said, you get like 300 views.
Yeah,
and you're like, okay.
So then, is that mainly what you do, Jason? Is the fly fishing?
Majority, yeah, and ice fishing.
See, because as far as fly fishing, I think that's I do watch a lot of those type of videos because it's something I don't know how to do. Like everybody's got a bass fishing channel, like what I do.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really unique. Whereas fly fishing, when I see videos like that, like Cody every once in a while do a fly fishing video, and I'm really intrigued by that because I want to get into it, and not a lot of guys film it.
Yeah.
So that's probably why you get so many views on that, because it's like an untapped market almost,
Definitely less than like regular spinning reel fishing. Yeah, and he fishes in nice places too, like in the mountains and the streams. It's so pretty there too. Not like seeing our flat land.
It's okay. Every kid, everybody goes out's got a chesty and catching largemouth bass like I do. It's not really that intriguing. That's why I gotta I feel like I almost just have to start finding a different angle.
I don't know. Bass fishing's pretty popular there. You guys go crazy. Bass. It's like walleye up here for us. Walleye, bass down there.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only reason my videos sometimes are so successful is because it's Lake St. Clair, and Lake St. Clair is
pretty popular. Hey,
it's one of the most popular fisheries for smallmouth bass and muskie. Period.
A lot of tournaments for muskie too.
Yeah, the muskies would be fun.
Yeah, Lucas, my buddy Lucas, does a lot of muskie fishing. He's trying to get me into it. I'd have to go buy a couple $100 more worth of gear.
Oh, big lures and stuff too, just like that big one. That would work. That one you got.
You had.
Yeah, get that one.
That would probably work.
Yeah. Dude, go to get the Dollarama. Get those $5 ones. Those are musky ones. They'd work great. I got pike on those ones already. Like remember the curly tail?
I need to go up to Canada. Go to a Canadian Tire. You guys always have these. I see you guys getting these lures at Canadian Tire.
Those are at Dollarama, like the ones I got. Those cheap $5 ones. You guys, or you have dollar stores down there, or Dollar Tree. That's the same chain, I think, isn't it?
I don't think Dollar Tree. Like we have Dollar Trees. I don't think they have fishing lures. At least I've never seen.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever seen
those
big lures in a Dollar Tree.
Yeah. No, I thought they'd have them just like Dollarama.
No, it's you guys. Canada's a whole nother animal up there. You guys.
Maybe just because they throw us hooks because of that, maybe. Or,
we have we have aisles full of dish soap and stuff like that. It's not really fishing stuff,
Yeah.
Diapers.
Yeah, they were good. I think I bought 4 of them for $5 because when I first went into Dollarama there, I seen a whole bunch on the bunk end. I'm like, cool, I'm gonna buy one. And I was like, those are cheap. I want to go back and get a couple more. So me and Lawson went and got 2 or 3 more, and there was like 4 or 5 left total. Like everyone cleaned them out. In like the city I live in is not that big, so I imagine the bigger cities would just clean them out for that price too. And then I've seen those exact same baits. They're called something else, another brand. And they sell them for like $25, and it's literally just a color change in packaging. It's the exact same one, but I don't know the brand name or whatever. Maybe Live to Fish Joe had them, I think, or somebody was throwing them. But yeah, fun to use though. They're heavy. They're like 8 ounces.
8 ounces?
Yeah, they're freaking heavy. Even the big pike rod I
Jesus.
bought for that is weighted for 4 ounces, and you gotta cast it so slow. If I think you went really quick, you're gonna snap the tip off that heavy rod too. So it's just like a slow release, or troll it. That's the safest too. You won't wreck your rod. Snap her right off.
Yeah, even for that little glide bait, I don't even have an appropriate rod for that. I had one heavy rod last year that I bought. And then when I flipped the kayak and I lost a couple rods, one of those was my heavy rod.
Oh.
But I know it's not an appropriate rod, but I'm still going to try to throw it. I think this rod is rated for, I know it's not an ounce and a half. I know that.
What's your rod? Medium heavy or a medium light? Would your rod be?
It's like a medium heavy. I don't know.
It'd probably be fine. Yeah. As long as you're easy when you cast it, it'd be all right. I'm sure. What's the weight of that one? That glide?
Ounce and a half.
Oh, I'm sure you'd be fine with it then.
Yeah, I mean, even though the rod's not rated, technically rated for it, I've always thrown baits that are.
They're guidelines, man. They're just guidelines. Don't worry about it. Throw it on and rip it. Rip it.
5/8 of an ounce. 5/8 of an ounce. Whatever.
You'll be fine. If anything, if it always is too heavy, you can always troll, paddle, or whatever. Or you got the electric one. What model is that called? That kayak you got? Power 100 or?
The new one I got is the Pelican Catch Power 100.
Power 100. That's what it was. It's cool, hey?
That one looks cool.
He found out how far you can go until the battery dies.
Yeah, so that was a problem. The first time I took it, I didn't know about amp hours and all this stuff. So I'm over here having.
He knows now.
Not having a paddle. I got the thing on the number 5 setting for hours. I'm just cruising around. And all of a sudden, literally, I'm like 2 hours from shore, like a 15-mile-an-hour headwind, and my battery dies. I'm like, son of a bitch! I hang it up. I hook it up to my.
I'd be
my little
panicking.
battery. I hooked it up to this thing, and I got about 2 minutes out of this. After that one died.
Oh God!
For my fish finder.
Man, lucky it wasn't like super windy out too, going the opposite direction.
Oh no, it was. It was super windy. Right in my face. And,
God!
I was going to die.
Paddle back.
Yeah,
I made it back. It took me about an hour and a half. I paddled back.
Sore for a week after. Freaking chest and everything. Paddling.
Yeah.
God.
I watched some videos about amp hours and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, that explains it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm good now.
Yeah, because yours is 100 amp hour. You said, right? You have on that? It's a pretty big one.
I got a 100-hour lithium amp.
The
lithium
that's a good battery then. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've used mine. Mine's
it's plenty. I was just being ridiculous the first day I took it out. I was just
whatever
cruising around, nonstop.
We're even fishing half the time. I was on cruising this bitch and just go back.
No, I was. I'm like, I was just testing the thing, the darn thing out. My new ride, and like 3 hours later on setting of 5, which probably draws 30 amps an hour. Yeah.
I forget what. I went, I forget how many amp hour at max setting, but I don't use it that much. I go to my little spot. If I troll, I use it in like 1 amp hour. I think it's like 8 amp hour. I forget. So it'll last me for quite a while, but going far, I wouldn't want to trust it. I don't think. I want to get like a little like 2.5 gas, Merc or whatever, or 2-stroke, whatever they are.
Right.
Throw on it just to be safe.
I saw a video on YouTube where somebody, when they were on the number 5 setting, which is the highest setting for mine, it draws about 30 amps. And if you just click it one less to the 4, you're drawing about 15 amps. I'm like,
it's pretty much halves it. Yeah. That's a huge difference.
So, that's what I've been doing, and I haven't had an issue since. So
yeah. Oh well. At least you got back okay. You weren't still out there trying to paddle back to shore. Jeez.
I was hurting for like 3 days after.
Oh yeah.
But I made it.
Yeah. How long does it take you to get there?
Because
like when you're from your house, then like is it a long drive to get out there? Where you live, or to get
to Lake St. Clair?
Yeah.
Like 5 minutes.
Oh, you're really
depending
close.
on where I want to launch at. Like if I want to launch right by my house, I got like a 5-minute drive. Some places I'll launch at, I'll drive maybe half an hour.
That's not bad.
But I live right on the shore. All depends on where I want to launch.
You got your own little spots too, probably. Hey.
Oh yeah.
Where are they? Tell me. Tell everybody.
We're on our way.
I got a couple launches that I can. They're supposed to be only if you live in that city, and my parents live in that city, and they got me a pass. So
nice.
Yeah,
Got
may or may not have
connections.
printed. They may or may not have gave me a pass I don't deserve. So
that works.
whatever.
Yeah, get you out there. Cool. Have you lived there all your life then?
Yep.
Do you like it?
I grew up in St. Clair Shores. I always grew up in the area by Lake St. Clair, but I grew up in St. Clair Shores, went to high school there. And then, when I got older, I bought a house and moved, a little bit more to the west from St. Clair Shores. And now I'm back close to I'm close to the water again, but I don't live in that. Unfortunately, I don't live in St. Clair Shores. That I can't get the. They have like 2 different launches you can launch from over there.
Oh.
And so yeah.
Is it pretty busy?
There's plenty of launches. It's just on the weekends. It's insane.
Oh, I bet it is. Yeah. Just a lineup to get it in
nice
and
thing
out.
With my job, with my job, my days off rotate, and I get a lot of weekdays off. I'll get
That's
like
the
3
best
days
time.
in a row, like Monday, Tuesday.
Best time.
I don't even like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll go when my kids are in school. So like, you didn't see a lot of videos in the summer because my kids were off of school. I got to watch my kids. My kids, my wife works.
Right.
But when they're in school, if I got the weekdays off, as soon as they get on the bus, boom, I'm out to the lake, and I just got to be back by 4 o'clock.
I'm out of here. Adios. Yeah, that's the best time. I don't like fishing as much on weekend, like for filming wise. It's fun to go out and fish on the weekends, but I don't even like filming. It's too many people. It's kind of annoying. So we just do our own thing. But weekdays is the best time because you're by yourself and everything. I don't know. It's just so much easier and less traffic, people, everything. Yeah, and I like being by myself.
I had a video where there were, in the spring, it was during the spawn, and there were a ton of people out there. I'm talking like every maybe 30, 40 yards, there's a boat, but that's where you needed to be to catch them.
Yeah.
And, I'm catching them. I'm doing a YouTube video, but at the same time, I'm not going to be like, hey, guys, check out this fish. Like when there's, 50 other boats over here, like looking at me like I'm a dumbass. So, it's just kind of like, hey, guys, I come.
Own it.
Shh, don't tell my spot and throw it back in.
Right.
Whatever. Yeah, it's kind of, but most of the places I go aren't too busy anyways, so one good thing.
I've never seen another boat in one of your videos. Every time I see you out there by yourself, well, unless you're ice fishing, I've seen some other people ice fishing.
Yeah, the places I go to, mainly people always ice fish, but there's basically no actual boat launches unless you have like a little kayak or a little boat or something, because that's a huge benefit where I go for most places.
Right.
Other than like the main Saskatchewan or South Saskatchewan, North Saskatchewan, whatever, all those spots be the busiest places for boats that I go to anyways, but
right.
We have our busy spots, but generally where I'm on the rivers, I'm hiking, so
get away from the people. Get away from the lazy bones that don't want to fish out of their truck windows from the shore.
Yeah. Don't go any farther. Man, like I put on so many kilometers on a river this year. It's insane. Like,
do you see a lot of people when you're trucking up and down the river then? Or not really, not too many?
90% of the time, I might pass one person.
Yeah.
Or they might pass me. A lot of the times, I don't see anyone unless I go to some of the easy access spots.
Lazy bones places. That's where it's heavily fished more than anything, probably, hey? So everybody throws their line in.
So there's a few spots where I know like there's an easy access here and there's an easy not a little bit harder up here. But then there's a stretch on the McLeod where it's really big grayling. And you gotta hike up to them.
Yeah.
And that's I will gladly hike like 2 or 3 kilometers up a river.
Get the hell away from civilization.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like, people getting tangled lines and fucking people.
Yeah, the last
it's a good idea,
the last
man.
area I was trying to fish, it's 1.5 kilometers back and down so from where you can get to by truck.
Yeah.
Don't bring a quad. It's 1.5 kilometers hike in to the river. And it's on an old oil lease road that's grown in now. And then you can access the river and then we'll hike. I think me and my kids, we hiked 9 kilometers one day.
That's a little ways, hey? Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually kids want to give up halfway too and you got to carry them. Or bring a wagon.
What I've been doing is I started small and I slowly each trip, I just gotten a little bit further, a little bit further, a little bit further.
Yeah, I'm used to it.
Yeah, and man, I'm telling you, man, they did really good this year. Like that, a lot of my trips this year, because my wife is working full time now.
Yeah.
I had them out with me. They were hiking with me, and
Nice.
they weren't necessarily always fishing, but they were always hiking.
Well, they don't care as much either. Just come and hang out and do their own thing too. Half the time when it's ice fishing, they kind of just roll in the snow anyways and do snow angels.
Oh yeah,
so it's the same thing.
Yeah,
or go sledding. Lawson always wants to take the ice sled and find a hill and go down it.
Yeah,
so I'm like, go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take my gear out. There's one lake that's like 20 minutes from here, and it's an old pit, and it's stocked with rainbows in it.
Oh yeah.
And it's deadly. You can go down, and it's like super steep. I'll take all my gear out of the sled.
Oh
and
god,
the boys will drag it up and they'll come down like at a million miles an hour.
Talk about speed. Does yours have the runners on it, like the guides on the ice sled too, to really get it going fast?
Yeah.
Like the strips or whatever. Yeah, those are almost dangerous when you get them on ice. They go so fast. They're like a bobsled, man. They're gonna freaking bring 100 mile an hour and walk one down a hill. That's fun. Then they hit the ice on the water, and then they really just they're freaking gone. Yeah, it's fun. You're missing out, Brian. You gotta come up here, guys.
I know it. I need to make a trip out there. I love ice fishing, but we only have like 2 months to do it in. You know
that sucks, hey, and it's so short. Yeah, because I
I
remember when I watched you guys.
Short.
What's that?
I wish I was short. I wish I could fly fish more.
Yeah. Go south, I guess, when it gets warmer or colder for you.
We've got like 6 months of open water, if that, and we've got like 6 to 7 months of ice. Like it's brutal.
Yeah, I would definitely prefer. I definitely prefer my open water.
Yeah.
But I see, like this year, I want to start taking the kids out, like ice fishing. You know, I think they'd enjoy that. My kids are only like I have two 7-year-olds and a 9-year-old, and I've never taken them out ice fishing. I just think they would. I think they'd have a blast doing that. Like
yeah,
said, especially not even just a fit. I got the camera. You know, they could watch the camera if they like that, and then if not, they could wander around on the ice, and just have fun.
Oh yeah, the camera alone will keep them going.
My ice is like. Yeah, my ice isn't as thick as your ice, but
ours is bigger.
I actually got to watch.
No big deal, Brian.
Yeah, no, it's only 24 inches to
36 on a good week.
Right.
Yeah.
But you said you're on the ice by December. Usually December, we're on the ice with our trucks.
No shit. Yeah, right. We're driving out. I'm the lazy bones. And the first chance I get to drive, I'm driving, man.
I would never drive. I've seen people drive, and I would never drive.
Well, that's the ones that go out in like freaking 3 inches of ice when you should be walking. They're gonna drive their truck out.
Yeah, unless I need like a 1 million view video where I sink my truck or something like that. I don't need that in my life.
Oh man. Yeah, with my truck though, like they say 12 to 16 or 18, I think, is like safe for a truck, but that's half tons at like 4,000 pounds. Mine's a 1 ton, so it's like just under 8,000 pounds. So I weigh to at least like a good solid 24 inches, or I'm not driving on it with that truck. Maybe the half ton, but not the big one. No way. Because you can even hear it cracking when you're driving. It's kind of scary, but it happens.
That's great.
Sleeping on the ice, that's nerve-wracking.
I've heard some videos of the ice going when it like cracks and makes that noise. Like, oh man.
Yeah, I was out on the ice. I finally got a decent tent last year. I bought the Eskimo 450.
Oh.
And
yesterday you got it?
Last year.
Oh, last year. Oh, sorry,
last year I got it. And I finally got out on the ice overnight, and I remember like sleeping. I finally shut the lights off, pulled the fishing rod out of the water, and I was sleeping, and all of a sudden I hear, because the ice is growing at night, right?
That's usually what makes the most noise, when it's forming new ice.
Yeah. So then you're sleeping, all of a sudden you hear this, and you're like, it's something like out of a sci-fi movie, man. You're like,
oh yeah, it makes the hair stand up on the back of your neck. It does. Yeah.
Once you get used to it, it's not bad. But like, if you've never done it before.
My very first year ice fishing too, when I started hearing those sounds, I literally packed my shit up and left. So I didn't know what was going on. Like, I shouldn't be out here. I'm getting off the ice. Then I do my research, and that's when I found out the noises are when the ice is growing. It's like,
it's good. It's usually mean it's good.
Yeah. But it's quite the sound. It is very unique. You'll recognize it if you ever hear it.
Yeah,
You're talking about the little twang.
Yeah.
As it's,
Yeah. It sounds something
It
else.
still gets me nervous. Well, mainly because I'm on 5 inches and not 28. But so when I hear that,
you can drive on
there's
that.
been a couple times I'm drilling anchors down in my tent. You know, I'm like putting the anchors down. I see like the twang, and I see like a
split out or
the
whatever.
ice just split as I'm drilling my anchor. I'm like, shit. About that. Oh, sorry, I forgot to use the YouTube.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking I'm about to sink. You know, I'm about to fall into the water here.
How thick does it get then? Like when this coldest point for you guys, then would it be a foot then or no?
I mean, it does.
Does it? Yeah.
But I like to be out there first ice, last ice. You know, that's when we catch the most. So
that's fishing.
There were a couple times where I'm going out there with the spud. You know, there are times I'm going out there with the spud, and I think I'm in like 4 or 5 inches, and all of a sudden that spud goes right through, and I'm like, oh, it's kind of backtracking back,
Yeah.
It was only like 2 inches of ice, or if that. So it's kind of nerve wracking, but
yeah,
I don't know. That's some of the best fishing for us when it's that first ice, last ice. So
yeah.
I like hanging out in the tent, like with the heater
itching.
on, staying warm. I just love it, and like watching the camera. It's so relaxing.
See,
I think
there are areas where I can do that more. That's what I want to do with my kids. Like Lake St. Clair, like going out, that's the crazy stuff sometimes. We have like this area like in the marsh where I could take my kids. I don't have to worry about the ice thickness so much. And I do like being in the tent. I mean, I do like hole hopping as well too.
If it's nice out, I should say. If it's not like windy or anything, yeah, prefer outside.
Yeah, if it's nice, I'll go hole hopping. It's fun. I got my drill and I'll just go hole hopping. I travel light. But I don't know. There's something about being in the tent I like to.
Yeah. If it's cold.
Just kind of relaxing.
Yeah. Hanging out. I want to actually eat more on the ice this year. I didn't do very much last year, but just cook and fish on the ice more. So I more so just fished and threw that in the video. But it's nice to cook fresh fish too. And I didn't do that much in my summer videos either this year. Like 1 or 2, I think. And that was it.
Yeah. I want to do a little bit too. The only thing I've cooked out there was a Pop-Tart.
Nice.
Was
it the one with the nice sprinkles?
Yeah, with the little buddy heater, and I dropped it on the ice a couple times.
But, buddy heaters are great for that. We always get McDonald's sometimes and throw on like the breakfast sandwiches to warm them up. Oh yeah. McGriddles.
One year, me and the boys. So like sometimes if I have pizza, I'll throw it in tinfoil, and then I'll put it over the buddy heater with the thing, and then I'll reheat it that way, get it all nice and crispy.
Nice. That's I love that.
One year I took the boys out with me, and I pre-made grilled cheeses, and I put them in tinfoil, and I brought them all out, and then when it was lunchtime, I cooked them over the buddy heater. Worked perfect.
Yes. Do you flip the thing up? If you take your grate out, maybe you know this, you can flip it around. It makes like a perfect grate to put food on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's freaking good. That's the best way to do that. God, yeah. Cooking like even just toast out in that freaking water is good too when you do that.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You can do some pretty creative things with it.
Yeah, they're good. I like them. They throw a lot of heat. Lots for a freaking tent, I think. Do you have the single one or the double one? Which one do you have?
Both.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. So when it's like normal winter temperatures, the little buddy is more than enough. I think it goes up to like 9,000 BTUs.
It's a lot. I think the big one's like 18 or something, isn't it?
Yeah, the big one's 18. So if I'm going overnight, I'll take the big one I'll take both usually, but I'll keep one in my truck just in case. But I'll take the big one, and then I'll just flick it on low.
Do you have the adapter to go to the 20-pound tank?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is totally worth it. Those little 1-pound ones, like for 3 of them, is like 20-some bucks, and you can fill up a 20-pound tank for like $15 or $16 here.
Yeah.
Such a rip off those little tanks.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Yeah, it's I think the core.
Do you guys ever take the adapter from the 20-pound to put them into 1 pound sometimes?
Yeah,
I've seen that. I've never done it. Is it, dude? That's kind of sketchy.
That's
about a pound.
I was actually thinking about doing a little video. I got the adapter. I bought it last year. I might even have it somewhere in these cabinets right here, but I never tried it. And I was actually going to do a video about that, because I don't know about where you guys are, but those little pound tanks are like, dude, they're ridiculous. They're like $6 or something. You know, like
Yeah, that's equivalent to what
stupid.
it is here. Then it's like 20 some bucks for us for the 3.
It's
Yeah, that's a lot.
stupid. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
it's like, and so like I bought the adapter last year. I was going to make a video on it. I never did it on how to do it, but
so the thing you got to be
still
careful.
like those little 1 pound tanks. You got. I know you got to be careful because like you don't want them to explode if you don't know what you're doing.
That'd be bad. Yep.
Yeah.
Good old boom. I've seen that. I literally just seen a video yesterday on TikTok. Not the remote wire like that I'm using, but just the little like brass fitting you screw on the bottom of the 20 pound that you screw the 1 pound to. Is that the one you have?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Do a video when you fill your first one. I want to watch.
Yeah.
I don't know.
1 million views.
Yeah.
Like,
you gotta get your little weight, your
up.
fish scale. Get your fish scale, and then just start filling it when you get to your pound. I guess I don't know.
I got that thing somewhere.
It kind of stops on its own. Like it'll just like when you turn it on, right? When you screw it to it, and then you screw the 1 pound tank in. You put it in, and then it fills up to basically fills it up. But what happens is when the 20 pound tank starts to get low, it won't fully fill the 1 pound tanks.
Just the equalization then is lower.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Same.
That's what happens. It even evens out, right?
I'm still sketched.
This is what I got right here.
Oh, that's what I seen then on TikTok. Look at that.
Yeah.
Definitely do a video when you fill your first one.
That's what I'm going to blow myself up with on the first one.
Hey, man, if you got to do something, you got to views. You got to record it. Oh, see what happens.
And then when I blow myself up, and then I can claw myself out.
Out to the truck to go to the hospital because you blew your legs off, man.
Oh my god.
Jeez. Oh man. What are those adapters worth then? Like $15 ish?
Something like that. I can't remember. I bought them on Amazon. I just know it's going to be, if I can figure out how to safely do it.
Just get a good scale, really. I would.
Yeah, I got a scale. Somebody's talking about bleeding bleeding them out through the hole, and
don't got time for that. We don't got time for that. Just a good old it's pound, give or take.
Right.
It's all ballpark anyways, man. Don't worry about it. You're feeling okay. Oh man. Yeah. I think the remote wire I got was $40 from the little one to the 20 pounder or whatever, but yeah, doesn't take long to pay for that. Then when you pay $6, like you said, for a 1 pound tank.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a lot. Somebody's making a lot of money. You
buy the tank, you can fill them up for like $1 each, basically.
Yeah, and you can sell them for $4. There's your side hustle, man. Let's
slap a sticker on it.
Yeah. So long to get shut down doing that. That's yeah. I don't know. I've seen some videos saying you're not supposed to do that. I don't know which is true, which isn't. It was on TikTok. Sure it's TikTok material, so that's funny.
So do you large mouth or small mouth?
What, for me?
Yeah.
I have no
right
bass
now
here.
Or
no, like
when you're fishing. What do you usually get?
There's both, isn't there?
Like open water?
What species are in there? Like, what do you have for bass? Is it all smallmouth in there, or do you guys have large too?
So we have both. We have now if you're on Lake St. Clair and you're going out out a mile out from shore, you're fishing for smallmouth bass. That's what you're fishing for.
Yeah.
And that's what I primarily would like to fish for, just because the fight is so much better.
Oh, really? Is it?
I do smallmouth in Ontario.
Yeah, smallmouth just fight incredibly.
Huh. I thought it'd be the opposite.
Incredibly better than. No. Smallies fight incredibly better than largemouth. Now, like, I mean, there's some largemouth. Like that last one I caught 2 weeks ago. I caught a 5.5 pound largemouth. That thing fought really well.
That's that you run your latest videos, hey? That
right.
That one, yeah. That's
yeah, that thing fought really well, but yeah, we have both in Lake St. Clair. And there's good things about both. I mean, smallmouth, like I said, they fight really well, but there are times when you want to be more like inland.
So the small ones are out farther then? Are they deeper? Smallmouths or what?
Smallmouth, where we're at, Lake St. Clair is like a flat. and there's not, when you get out there, there's not a lot of weeds. It's just like a flat. There's not a lot of change in structure. There's not a lot
Oh,
of change in
really?
depth.
Okay.
It'll just be like you could travel like a half mile, and you'll be at 10
Nothing,
feet the
hey?
you'll be at 10 feet the entire time, 10 feet, or like, like maybe you'll eventually get to 12 feet. And
Yeah.
then you'll see like a boulder. Maybe you'll see a little bit of weeds out there, and then but you might want to fish that.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
But
what's big smallmouth there?
Yeah.
right
Huh.
on those boulders, stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I mean, but like sometimes on Lake St. Clair, like if I'm not doing well with smallmouth, I'll come in shallow. I'll fish the walls and stuff like that. And there's like a lot of largemouth. That's what the day I caught that 5.5 pound largemouth.
Right.
I tried fishing for smallmouth. I was getting skunked. I couldn't find them. I couldn't see them on the
Yeah.
graph. I was trolling. I was trying whatever. I kind of gave up. Came in. I was fishing along the walls. I figured, the water was cooler. Those walls are retaining some heat. There might be fish on them. And then I caught that largemouth.
Oh, okay. So the large ones more so
Yeah.
hang out closer, shallower, in like more weed areas then? Weedy areas? Do they more
The
so?
largemouth?
Yeah.
Yeah, I find the largemouth are more shallow, more in the weeds, stuff like that. Whereas like
Okay.
the smallmouth bass are out on the flats, stuff like
Little buggers, huh?
that. You can catch smallmouth up close too, or up
But
shallow
the
too.
majority is what you're saying.
Majority is out.
Okay.
Yep.
That's the way it is always, or just that lake?
I'm not sure if that's how it is always. That's how it is in Lake St. Clair. At least.
Okay.
Normally, I mean, Ontario, the bass, the smallmouth they're usually. I've always caught them in like deep holes, like
Like on the rivers, right?
no, lakes too. Like I fished
Oh,
lakes
really?
for smallmouth in Ontario. Well, I guess you can get them in Manitoba. Can't you get them south in Saskatchewan?
There's one place, I think it's Estevan. It's called Boundary Dam. There's like a big power plant that spills into it. And it's like a super warm lake. There's smallmouth in there. That's the only place I know in Saskatchewan that has it. And we went fishing there when I was super, super young, and I didn't catch one. So I can't even say I've caught a bass before.
We got to go to BC.
I don't know what it feels like, Brian. I don't know. I never caught a bass.
But I also spend some time in Ontario, usually once a year. I usually go for a week or two. And when I'm there, like we do a lot of walleye, stuff like that, fishing out there as well. But I'll always take a couple trips and I'll try and do some bass fishing because I don't get to do it often.
Yeah.
So I'll try it on the fly. The last time I went out, the first time I tried, I was catching them in a river, and that was fun. I was catching smallmouth on like nymphs and stuff like that. That was really cool. They were sitting in all these deep holes, and my dad and some other people were fishing, and they weren't seeming to get him to bite. But I found a bug in the water, and I'm like, okay. So then I looking through my fly box, and I find one that looks close to it.
Mm-hmm.
And every hole I was pitching it in, I'd pull out 2 or 3 smallmouth, and they were decent size too, man. Like,
fight pretty good then too, or?
Oh God, I love how smallmouth fight. They're fun. Yeah, they're a lot of fun.
So they equivalent to trout? Do they fight that hard or not?
Yeah, every bit.
They can be
every bit. Like it's. I don't know if I'd say more or less, but like equivalent for sure.
Oh,
like
so I got
they definitely.
Sorry to cut you off. The Jenkins asked, "What's Brian's channel?" I'll type it in. Michigan Fisherman.
Michigan Fisherman.
Michigan Fisherman. I just seen that.
I
I missed
agree
the chat.
I agree with Jason that smallmouth fight about as good as trout fight.
Yeah,
they're pretty equivalent. Whereas largemouth usually don't put up much of a fight. Now, like I said, if they're really big, maybe
they're just.
But
freaking...
usually they're pretty darn easy.
It's the 30-pound fucking braided line. They have no choice anyway.
Yeah. What do you have again?
I got 30-pound braided line with like a 12-pound. It's not hard.
Sweet. Yank them in. Get away from me.
It's like throwing out an anchor rope, man.
My pike rod set up when I started casting those big lures. I went and got 50-pound braid. So I'm like, I'm not losing these big lures, and if it's for pike anyways, I don't give a shit. So I put that green fluorescent bright stuff on, and then my leader, I'd use leaders on everything too, just in case. So if I got a snag really bad, I'd have to probably cut my line, but whatever. I didn't want to break off those stupid $5 lures. I wanted to keep them all. I don't got too many big lures, but I got some. That spinner was really fun to use, though. Actually, I'm gonna put a link to your channel. It's probably easier. Hang on,
I
Jenkins, give me a
remember
second.
last year, no, not last year, year before, I would drove out to Ontario to Thunder Bay to help my dad finish a renovation. And I beat like it's 20 hours from my place to drive to my dad's. And I just cooked it on the first day so I get to Ontario. So I had
Yeah,
I gave myself 2 days to drive out,
I'll put
and
the link in the chat for you, Jenkins.
I booked her and got out there early that morning, and then I got up the next morning and I stopped at like little lakes right off the side of the highway. And I planned them out too. Like I was looking a week before where I wanted to stop, and I
Yeah.
knew there was this one that had bass and pike in it. And I stopped and I went out and I fished, and I was trying fly fishing for a little bit, and I was getting this bass, this small, decent, probably like almost a 3 to 4 pound smallmouth bass to follow my fly in, and I
Oh
got
yeah.
so close to getting to bite, but I just couldn't get him to bite. So I was like, screw it, threw on a popper, pitched it out, and then I was just watching it, playing him, and I was like popping it, watching him, popping it, watching him, and he just come up and went and just hooked
That's
it.
awesome.
Like, it
It's
was
fun. Hey, those poppers, they're sweet freaking lures to use too. Fun.
Cody.
Yeah.
You should, or even Brian, you should. So I sometimes I'll throw poppers for walleye, and it's
Really?
yeah, like no joke. There's a video. It's an older video, but I catch.
Is this
a
river
big-
fishing for that when you do that, or
No,
is it
no, it
lake?
was on a lake. This was
Lake?
on Wabamun Lake,
Okay.
and I go, and it's the first time I had ever done it. I was fishing and I was catching walleye and all sorts of stuff, like my normal Rapala, my blue and white one, the husky jerk, and catching away. And I got there's this creek part of Wabamun where there's like a creek kind of thing, and then there's another spot. There's like two sections to it, and I was in the mouth, and I pitch out a popper, and I'm like just pulling it in and thinking maybe I'll get a pike or something like that, right? And I see something swirl at it, and I'm like, oh, sweet. So anyway, pitch back out, coming back in, boom, inhales it.
Nice.
I'm like, sweet. So I'm like freaking out, get this fish in, and it's like a 22-inch walleye. And I'm like, sweet. I'm like, no way. Like, never thought in the world I'd catch a walleye on a popper, right?
Top water? Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
A year later, I did the same thing, but it's like I noticed the same conditions that I was in that one day, and I was seeing these. I knew there were walleye. I was seeing them hit top water. Same thing. Tied on a popper, pitched it out. First cast, it hit the water. The walleye inhaled it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, trying something like that is cool, and then it works too. Maybe most people just stick to their regulars, and they don't even try anything outside the box too. That's probably part of it. Everyone doesn't. Everyone just goes to whatever everybody's been using or the go-to YouTube videos and shit. Well,
yeah.
Try new stuff. They'll eat it. If time is right, you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is you start noticing like certain conditions, right? And then like so every time I'm out now, like if I'm out on Wabamun or if I'm out on a lake or something like that, and I notice those certain conditions and I'm seeing the fish hit the top water and I know it's walleye.
Yeah.
I'll
do you log your stuff too? I know lots of guys like days, temperature, everything. Do you like log your fishing days or no?
Sort of. I've been thinking about maybe doing it.
Yeah, I don't ever, but I know some guys do. But some days, like some of the lakes that I go to, like it's every year within a certain month, it just completely dies for fishing, and it's pretty well. It just I wanted to just actually start seeing if it's within like a week or so every year. But some of them, like one of the perch runs I go to, it's just like nothing I can catch. Usually, it just stops. But that kind of interests me sometimes to see if it's like clockwork almost. But
yeah.
Now sometimes I'll log catches on fish brain.
Oh yeah.
When you do that, if you use the actual photo, you know, not the photo from your GoPro, but say you take a photo, you know, like a selfie.
Yeah.
And you got the timestamp on it, it will tell you kind of what they think the conditions are, at least, like water temp,
Oh yeah, gives you an
temperature,
idea.
stuff like that. So, but I've never really looked back on that, but maybe I should
Yeah,
to
I
look,
kind of think
to see.
I know some guys like make a whole Excel sheet on their computer and just keep track, log everything. But
Right.
it'd be cool to do, but I just don't do it though.
A
Just
lot of
actually
I just
compare.
don't have the time.
I know that they're like I listen to a lot of podcasts, and there's a lot of fly fishermen like very analytical. They'll
Fly
like,
fishing, you guys are a different breed in
Yeah.
general. You're not the same.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's not a bobber, it's an indicator. Damn it.
Yeah.
Don't ever say that. You peasant fucking spinning reel people.
Yeah. Or was it that
Never say bobber.
Instagram
Oh,
video or
God.
whatever? It's like, okay, so we're gonna throw a fly, and the guy he's got like the two gear fishermen on the thing. He's like, all right, so this is a dry fly, and then this is a nymph, and this is a streamer, so it's a rapala.
Yeah.
He's like, no, it's a streamer. He's like, well then, but that doesn't look like a fly. He's like, well, it's to mimic.
I know what flies look like, and that's not a fly, guy.
Yeah, he's like, so it's a rapala. It's so funny.
There's a lot to fly fishing if you want to match the hatch and do all those. Like, ooh, I'm just gonna put on my favorite color and try, and if it doesn't work, I'm gonna switch it. I don't know. I'm not that technical at all, but I don't fish where you do. I just use streamers in the ponds, and that's it. So that's all I really do.
I find it does help though. Like even
I don't doubt it would if you can see what they're eating. For sure, it would. It's a good idea.
Not even that, man. Like sometimes it's not even about matching exactly what they're eating, right? Sometimes even like when I go up,
different.
Well, matching the size sometimes is enough.
Oh, okay.
No matter what you're using, right? Like I'll go out some days and I'll grab my spinning gear and I'll just throw it in the canoe or whatever, and I'll go out and there's a little pond that's like 15 minutes from me. Actually, there's one that's like 5-10, and I'll go out and I'll just like pitch for pike sometimes.
Yeah.
And sometimes just like finding like, a grub with a jig head on it, or, a small crankbait or something, like just that action, it like the size and the profile sometimes
just depends how hungry they are, right? If they're really hungry, you get something that big or not hungry, whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And so I find both of them help me. So like I gear fished for most of my life, and then the past 5 years I've gone like completely hardcore into fly fishing.
I know you have been.
Yeah. And so now
you're my fly fishing buddy. I ask you fly fishing questions.
Yeah. Exactly. But it's cool because it's like I find it really helps me. There are times when I'm like trying to catch on a fly, and I know how to catch them on a spinning rod. Like I could put one in my hands and I can almost guarantee I could catch it.
Yeah.
But I'm stubborn and I want to catch it on a fly rod.
It's more of an art almost. I even like when I get good casts going. It feels good too. It's just nice.
Oh
yeah. I'm still getting better at casting. I do good, then I do bad. When I was fishing in Jasper, I was casting or fly. Or I forget, I was using like just some streamers they recommended to use, like the fly shop in the river or whatever. I snagged it right in the back of my ponytail and snapped the line off. Good thing I had my hair there, because I would have fucking put it in my skull. Would have hurt a little bit. Not the first
time. I put a
streamer
in my shoulder this year.
Oh yeah, I remember that short video.
Yeah.
Man, yeah.
We down fishing below me. I let him fish this run first because I was trying to get him on a brown. And I let him fish the run, and I come in behind him and I'm pitching just streamers across it. And it was windy. And so like if the wind's coming like this way, you want to cast on this side. And if it's going this way, you want to cast on that side, because the wind will push the line closer to you, right?
Right.
So, yeah. And I tell this when I'm teaching people all the time, but then sometimes I'm like a dumbass and I forget, and I'll be throwing it, and all of a sudden
gotta get that fish, man.
Yeah, and you'll see your fly line pass you, and all of a sudden you feel a thump in the back of your back, and you're like,
yeah,
oh. There's a fly sticking right in here.
When I first started casting, I just went out to the pond just to start getting the feel for it. I snapped off so many flies, man.
Oh yeah.
Just that snap, I'm like, oh, I think I lost another one, and I go back, it's gone. Yeah, it's hard to learn how to start learning to cast, Brian. It took me a little bit. I'm still not great, but casting is definitely an art. I didn't have my wrist properly, or I would do the wrist action. This is getting great with when I started casting, so I couldn't keep them like the rod straight or whatever, or just I was doing too many actions with it. Yeah, bad habit, but
yeah.
then I was gonna go practice just across the street. There's a schoolyard in the yard. I'm like, that's probably a bad idea. I'd snap off a fly, and some poor little kid's gonna be running in the field and get like a hook in him or something.
Break off the hook.
Yeah, I guess I don't really need one, hey?
No, you just need the weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I could have done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, hey? It's the line that actually gets it out, right? Not so much. It's just
it's more the
line. Yeah.
Yeah.
It does feel a little different though without it. Hey, like when I was practicing a little bit, like within a lighter fly to a heavier one. Like when I started using the pike flies for a little bit that last year, it's definitely had to like relearn to cast again, opposed to like the real light flies or whatever.
So streamer casting is a little different than dry fly casting, and dry fly casting is a lot different than throwing a nymph. Right, so there's like different casting. So like everyone thinks when you're trying to fly fish and when you're trying to cast that you need to keep continuously trying to keep it in the air. If you're watching me fish, you'll notice I'm like once and done.
Yeah.
And yeah, but like when you're practicing your casting technique, I find generally like I won't even tie on a leader.
Oh, okay. I should do that then more so. Just run across and do that and not to worry about that.
Once you get that down, then you go out and then you can like you start using like a dry fly first is what I would go, because it really gets you used to the casting.
Hey, how are you?
Form, right? And then once you get your form down for dry fly, then for streamer fishing, like you can water load a lot of the times. So like, and when they mean by water loading is like when the fly hits the water, when the fly, like when it hits, the fabrics absorb all the water, so it weights itself in the water and it suctions to it.
Right. Well, I noticed like if I could get it out far in the line just to get it going again was super easy, but like you said, just trying to keep the fly up and going because I didn't want to scare the fish to get it out. That's what I find hard to do. Other than like when I was pike fly fishing or whatever, it was so much easier. I just snap it in the water and then just get it going and just do it again and again. It's way easier, but that's way harder for me.
Yeah. So I'll like pitch it out behind me, let it water load a little bit, and I'll just like pitch it, and it just goes right out. Like if I could physically show you, it's a lot easier to kind of actually show than explain.
Yeah. And I get the general gist of it. I watched a bunch of videos on their go-tos.
Nymphing is similar too. Nymphing, you're using the suction of you just have to get your fly line out of the water. Once you get your fly line out of the water, because the fly line suctions to the water almost, and then with the indicator there, you can just take it and you just pluck it, and it loads the rod and throws it.
Yeah, yeah.
So dry fly fishing is about the only one where you actually probably do more casting to get your fly out, because you don't want it to touch the water, because as soon as it slaps the water, you're spooking the fish. Anyway,
that too. That's what I always thought, like trying to get it out. But for keeping it, I know when it gets, there's that stuff I put on too, because I remember when it gets so wet, it would start sinking. Is it called goink? Is that the right word? This shit you put on it?
Dry fly gunk?
Is it goink or gunk? I thought it was like goink. It's like Goink or some shit.
It might be. I'm not sure how people really pronounce it. Most people say dry fly gunk or whatever.
Yeah, but I got a little bottle of that I was using a little bit too, and I was messing around with like the dry flies or whatever.
Yeah.
That was super cool. Some of the ponds I go to too, if you get there early in the morning, like especially when there's no wind, you just see them just eating on top. It's so cool.
You have much luck on it?
Oh, I think I ran streamers that day. I didn't really float any dry flies at all just because they were little ponds. I just used streamers, but so cool to watch them do that. I love doing that.
It's so like when you get on the river, man, and you get like, especially when it's like hopper season.
Do you do like the hopper dropper, the 2-rig thing with the hopper on top? Everybody says that when I was asking questions. Do the hopper dropper. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm new. Is that a dance? Do I dance?
Do the hopper dropper.
Yeah, I know.
We'll
And yeah,
chocolate
it's
chip
like the two, the hopper on top, the floater, and then like the nymph or whatever below it, or right, not to tag it on or whatever. Like, yeah, I'm new,
Yeah.
guys. Yeah. So I think I tried that a couple times, but
Yeah,
yeah.
it's if the perfect day of fly fishing, that video, um that day, man, was like, it started off as a nymphing game, and I was sort of catching here or there. I even caught a double header on one setup. That was sick. Caught a bull trout and
Nice.
whitefish the
That'd be
same
pretty.
time.
What a fight! I bet on that. Hey.
I hooked up one. I see it was funny. It was like under a rock ledge, and I was watching it come down. And I watched this bull trout come up and inhale the first fly, and then the other one swung down, and this whitefish come up from behind it and ate the other fly. And
That's awesome.
yeah, it was pretty cool. But that day turned into a dry fly day,
Yeah.
like a hopper drop. I started with a hopper dropper, and then at one point, after so many fish, you just cut the dropper off, and you just throw in the hopper all day, and it's just like everywhere you thought there'd be a
Man.
fish, there was a fish.
I've seen so many of those little like hopper lures you can get. I don't know if they'd be any good, but I always thought about trying those for trout. Just the little short billed ones to go like 2 or 3 feet, just like for spinning reel casting or whatever. Yeah. I don't know if they'd be good or not, but I always wanted to try one. But I've been told like super short, like 1-inch little like cranks don't really fall well. And I've tried some little ones and they were okay, but they're not really like consistent through the water. So I don't know if they would suck or not. Another thing you want to try?
I don't know. They might work. It's worth a shot.
And there's not really. I just seen some. It was on Facebook. I think one of the trout groups was asking, or they had them on there or something. I forget, but be something to try. Is there any trout close to you, Brian, or not really? Do you have to go a long ways?
Not really. You have to go upstate a little bit.
Yeah.
And, to the west. Yeah. As far as I know, I mean, maybe there might be some closer that I don't know about, but usually got to go up like near Traverse City, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Up in the northern part of the state.
How far is that for you then if you have to drive?
Yeah, like maybe like 4 hours, something like that.
Oh, God. That's a long ways to drive, especially if you get skunked.
Right.
It's the worst. I hate when I drive far and then you get nothing. It's like, oh, could have done something else today.
My in-laws have a place that's kind of up there, like up near Mackinac City, and I see all these streams, and I've never taken my waders and gone out there, but I want to, and I think there's got to be trout out there. The water is very cold, and there's got to be trout. I haven't done it yet, and maybe this summer I might give it a shot, but I haven't done it yet.
Have you ever went for trout then at all, or have you ever caught a trout?
No.
Oh,
no, I've never tried it.
Then you can compare it to then those smallmouths, because trout fight pretty good. They flip. It's so cool seeing them flip out of the water. It's the funnest thing ever.
I've caught trout on like charter trips, stuff like that, but I've never gone out. Like I take that back. I went out when I was maybe 20 years old. I went out with my stepfather. We went fishing for trout. I didn't catch any. He caught a couple.
Okay.
And it was fun. I enjoyed it. I never hooked into one.
Oh yeah.
Out on the river with out my waders and stuff like that. But
they're definitely a lot.
I would like to get into. I would like to get into it. Just being out there is so much fun.
Yeah, wading is pretty fun. The most I waded was literally in the last 3 weeks, just because it was getting cold and I just went down to the river in my waders and everything. But I didn't really use them at all this year, and I wanted to try some river fishing with those little spoons just to get the feel for them in the shallow parts. But I didn't. Yeah, super nice though. I like going in the water too.
Yeah, I might do it this year. Like I said, I've never tried it, but I think this is a year when we do go up there, I'm going to give it a shot. And I don't know what I'm really doing, but I like watching. I'll watch your guys' videos and a couple other ones. That's why, I need to get all the pointers I can, because I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah, watch Jason's fly fishing ones. They're pretty good. He has got nice places and knows the techniques.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that for sure.
He's a guide too. Now you have a reason. Hey, come up to Canada and we'll go over to there, and then we'll get a free guided trip.
I'm in.
Yeah.
There's quite a few places up here.
I bet.
I don't know. It's different. Although we have lots of good, like the Pembina, the Athabasca, North Saskatchewan, great walleye, pike, goldeye, man. If
goldeye
you
are pretty,
have
man.
goldeye,
I do. Yes. Are you talking about?
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
goldeye on a dry fly, man.
Oh yeah. They hit
It's
surface those things. I didn't know that.
there's a video. I did a video on it.
Oh.
I did a video on it.
How long ago?
It,
Guess I didn't watch that one, Brian. Fuck.
go watch it now.
I'm trying. I don't remember that video
so
coming up. Maybe
it was-
I did watch it. Then I could be lying. I don't know.
It could. I don't know. It's on there anyway. It's a dry fly day. I was out fishing for. I started out fishing for sturgeon, and I wasn't seeing any action. But I was watching all these goldeye behind me blow up on these
Oh.
ants. And because like certain times of the day, like in the mid season, you'll get like little terrestrials, so there'll be like little ants, and they'll be kind of floating down.
Right.
You go, and I was watching them, and I'm like looking through my box, trying to find what I could. Took me a few tries, but as soon as I figured it out, man, oh, they fight so hard. They have so much heart. It's insane. It's so much fun. Like
they are
goldeye
cool fish, though. I've heard the best way. I asked this on Facebook because I've never eaten one. The best way to eat them is to smoke them. Apparently, that's what everybody was saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
They say they're really greasy if you just cook them regular, I guess, or something. But I don't know that.
And their scales, man. I tried filleting one.
They seem hard when you grab them, like they're thick, like solid.
Yeah, you got to descale them, just like whitefish.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you can't like flame like a walleye on the end? No.
I
Is
tried.
it just doesn't
you
work?
Definitely can't.
Is it like trout? Does it just like come off? It just cut through it, or it doesn't work?
No, like you got to like descale them.
Huh.
Like you just get them, descale them all, and then you can fillet them.
Oh, okay. New.
Yeah.
New to
Unless
me.
someone else knows better. I haven't
don't
done it too much, but I tried the normal way, what I thought, and I'm just like, yep,
Didn't
this
work.
ain't gonna work.
Live and learn. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's all
definitely.
right.
Yeah, they're underrated. Like you catch.
I don't
What's
think
the
there's
cut?
actually a fish that tastes bad, is there? Like, I don't know. Lots of people say they don't like pike, and they taste good. They're fine. Lots of people
As
say
long
they
as
don't
they're
like
in colder water.
See, yeah, I've eaten some this summer too. I didn't think they're that bad, but I don't know. I think
There's
they get a
a
bad
couple
rep.
lakes from here where they're like it's really warm water and there's pike in it, and they taste like garbage.
Not quite as good.
No,
I've never had a
the
bad
colder
one.
the water, the better the pike taste.
Oh, for sure, the colder. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Do you eat bass? I've never heard anybody eat bass. Brian, that one's on you.
No, I don't. I don't eat bass. I've never tried bass.
Does anybody?
Some
I've
people
never.
say
I don't even know.
some people say it's fine.
Oh.
I've
You know,
heard.
I always thought that maybe one day if I say I gill hook one or something like that and it's bleeding out good, maybe and it's legal length, maybe I'll keep it. And I just haven't had it happen to me yet.
Oh, okay.
So maybe one day I'll try it and let you know.
They'd probably be fine.
But
I don't think they'd be that bad.
I'm sure it's fine if you know what you're doing. You season it up good. I'm sure you can make almost anything.
Yeah.
Like you said, as long as the water
Fish Chris will
temperature
take mask anything.
right. But I haven't tried it yet. So.
Huh. Yeah. Come to think of it, I've never seen a fillet video for a bass. So maybe it's just stereotypical. Nobody eats it. So nobody wants to try. I'll try.
You'll get a lot of hate. I know I'll get a lot of haters if I do. Especially if it's
hey, man.
especially if it's
Haters
a
are not
smallmouth bass.
publicity's publicity. It doesn't matter. If it brings it, go for it.
Might as well cook a muskie while I'm at it because
Yeah.
that's the amount of haters I'm going to get. But whatever.
You get all those views then, right?
Right, 1 million.
This guy.
I
Right.
don't
Oh man.
Have you, he's Maine says it's a rock bass, or maybe it was a bass. He said he tried one and it was the best one he ever had. Have you tried a rock bass then, or does anybody know anything about that?
No. I mean, we have a lot of rock bass around here. I've never tried to eat one.
So some of my family has. They've tried.
I know I think it was Beer Zero Fishing. He said he's eaten rock bass before. He said it's a good sized fish for a sandwich or something like that.
Oh, okay.
But I never have though myself.
They're kind of cool looking fish too, though. Hey, I've only seen them a few times.
You know what's funny? They will hit your lure like a tank and fight like crazy for like 3 seconds, and then it's just game over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah. But they'll hit some big lures too. I'll be fishing like a mega bass dark sleeper, and they'll hit that, and that thing barely fits in their mouth, and somehow they hit.
It's
somehow
crazy,
they love
hey?
that thing.
Yeah, like we
Yeah.
were trolling last summer too for walleye, and I was actually using like long crankbaits on the bottom bouncers, and we were catching perch almost the same size as the stupid like lures. They're just fish are crazy sometimes. I don't know what they're doing. Yeah.
Right.
That's
Just like
funny.
pike too. They say they fish half their size, and it's believable. You see, like, remember that picture I sent you, those micro spoons, that one pike in the net? Like, it's all over its back. Like, that was a big freaking fish that bit the back of that fish. I don't know what the hell was going on, unless they were fighting or something. But it was in the net or whatever. I'll send you on picture, Brian. It's cool though. But yeah, the whole back of this pike in the net is, or it's on my Facebook shit, but whatever. But yeah, I was just completely like got in a big fight, and I like grabbed it right behind there, left big marks and everything.
Nice.
Yeah. Normally 1/3 their size, a fish will bite it. Normally.
Yeah. You got your phone plugged in, or do you got a power bank on it if it dies? Usually my battery like on my phone.
I'm plugged in. I was pulling one of these like little soft, one of these little soft plastics was underneath. I went to pull it and it pulled my phone right out.
Oh.
But
oh, that's a question I'm gonna ask you. I asked Jason this. Like, I use my phone all the time for like thumbnail pictures and everything now. Like, I don't use like my camera or nothing. What do you use for like your thumbnails then when you make them, or do you just take stills out of your images, or how do you get yours?
For me, it's like 50-50. Sometimes I'll take stills off of
just your GoPro,
from my camera, from my GoPro, stuff like that. But lately, I've been trying to get. There have been times I'll hold a lure out, whatever, and I'll try to get like a cool little, I'll try. Oh, I got two lures at once here. But I'll try to hold a lure out.
Yeah.
I get like a perfect shot of it with the background, and I found that I've been getting more views on stuff like that. It's cool. Me holding the fish is cool.
Yeah, but some people like to see how you caught the fish too, though. Kind of like what you're getting at.
Yeah, or some people don't want it. Some people don't want they don't want somebody bragging about what kind of fish they caught. They want to know
technique,
information
and stuff.
They want information, technique. Yeah. So they're like, I'll hold up that like that Rapala, whatever you want to call it, DT10. I'll hold it up there.
Yeah.
And then they can look at it like, oh, I have that lure. How should I be fishing it to catch a big fish? Rather than
relatable.
Look at this 5 pounder I caught.
Yeah.
So I found that I've been starting to take more pictures of the lure up close and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea too. And the hardest part too is just getting a picture by yourself. It'd be nice to have an extra person some days. Jason and I were talking about that the other day, to hold a camera and shit. There's so much more stuff you could do in a video if you have 2 people. It's so hard by yourself sometimes.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's a little bit of an art form, but
pretty much you get used to putting your cameras in certain spots of your phones, and hopefully they don't fall over to get a picture, and set the timer on the phone and get in the right spot. Usually like 20 tries, you finally get the one you like. It's such a pain sometimes.
I had a pike fishing video with my kid where I set up 3 cameras on my boat. And that was, it worked out really good. But it's annoying, right? Because like I had my main camera in the back, I had a camera on me, and then I had another camera with a different angle. And then you're like syncing up everything. And it's not that hard with Premiere Pro, but I don't know, it's a lot of work. Yeah. But it does yield some really good results. Like
once it's all done, for sure. More angles, the better, for sure. Like I always use 2, but I don't use 3. Like 2's enough for me. But it's definitely nice to have an extra angle to go back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
I think. But
I think 2 is good. Before I had, I don't know, some about just having 2 angles. You can go back and forth. Sometimes like my hands will get in the way, right? Say like on my
exactly,
chest,
you
like,
can get the other shot.
All of a sudden my hands are in the way. Well, now I can take instead of having the one with my hands are in the way, I can grab that first person view. Pointed at me. Now you can see me fighting the fish better, and it just works out a lot better. Sometimes I'm lazy. I won't use 2, but it definitely the quality's way better. You got to have.
Yeah.
I think you got to have two.
Even audio
I would
too.
agree.
I have Do you use or do you have an external mic on some of your GoPros that you use, or is it not? Sometimes I can't tell.
For mine, I just well, I used to have before I flipped the kayak, I had a GoPro Hero 7 and the silver, and that thing had great audio.
If it's close to your face, absolutely, it does really good. GoPros.
Right. So like, I was gifted, like, I did that little like "woe is me" video, when I flipped, and I was gifted a GoPro Hero 6 from another YouTube channel. It was Gary's.
Nice.
Gary's. He gifted me one. The video's really good on it, but the audio's terrible on it for some reason. I don't know. So I use all the audio I use is from my GoPro Hero 8 on the front, the Hero Black, and that's the only audio I use, and it just seems to work really, really well. So like if I do sync a video, the only audio I use is from one up front.
Just the best, and that's what I do too. Usually the one that's on my chest or even when it's on my head, and then I just sync it with the footage and then just cut back and forth.
The same thing.
It's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Because you can tell when a mic's farther away, or especially GoPro's farther away, when it's close, it just sounds like dog poo.
Yeah.
Audio's so important in videos. Oh, so it's nice to have something good.
Yeah. That was Gary's Fishing Tales. I don't know why I lost the track of the channel. Gary's Fishing Tales. He sent one out, a GoPro he wasn't using anymore. So
that's cool. Hey, that's nice.
Yeah. Yeah. When
I remember when you tipped your over in that video or whatever. Oh man. I guess Jason doesn't know about that. Yeah. I'll let you tell the story.
I was basically, it was like Labor Day weekend last year. And long story short, I was kneeling on a kayak I shouldn't have been kneeling on, trying to get a bottle to eventually take a leak in. And there were too many people around. I decided I wasn't even going to do that. And I was just trying to get back in a seated position. I lifted my leg over my fish finder. I'm trying to sit back down. I got the weight all shifted wrong, and I flipped my whole kayak. I didn't have rod floats on my rods. I lost all my rods. I lost a lot of tackle.
I'd be so
batteries.
sad. Man.
Dude, I lost I think I added it all up. I probably lost about $1,100 worth of gear.
Oh, ouch.
And it was just awful. And so like a couple guys really came through. A couple guys gave me some like rods in the meantime. And like I said, the GoPro, stuff like that. A lot of the fishing community came together there for a minute and helped me get back on track. Because I made a video. I'm like, hey man, it's going to be a minute before you see me again.
Yeah, I remember I seen that. I was like, oh no.
And then a bunch of guys like, hey man, I got a rod I don't use. You can use this rod,
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So
that's
they got me back on my feet, and they just said like, hey, like Gary was saying, hey, if you don't need that GoPro in the future, just give it to a Boy Scout troop or give it to somebody who might need it. Like say I buy another camera, they're like, don't sell it, just give it to someone who kind of pay it forward.
Needs it then,
100%. Pay it forward is big.
Right. Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I got paid forward in a Tim Hortons line. I was so happy. It's the first time it ever happened in my life. These two ladies were ahead of me, and I get my coffee, and they're paid for it. I'm like, what? That happened to me? That's never. Usually it's women who get it paid back, not a guy. I'm like, that's cool.
Right.
Yeah. Well, it was cool. I don't know who they were, but yeah. Man, you don't realize how much gear you have on your boat, kayak, or anything. It all adds up. And then if something happens like that, it's like, "Ooh, man, that sucks."
Now I have everything kind of safeguarded. Like even this rod I got right here. Like I got rod float on it. Now, and
does that actually
like
keep the whole thing up forever, or is it just like a slow sink with that amount of foam on it?
No, that'll keep it up. I actually have had. Since I've had the rod floats, I had one fall in the water, and it'll keep it.
Oh, nice.
It's a pretty. If you see this thing is a pretty darn, compared to the size of my hand, that's a pretty big rod float. So it'll keep it up. They make smaller ones.
Makes it look like you got like a two-handed sword or something.
Now
just eat that fish out.
Start some graveyard stuff over there.
Every once in a while you'll cast this thing, and like for some reason like this thing will kind of come up off the rod, and you'll hear with the spin.
Oh yeah. I know exactly that sound. Yep.
It's like It's like, scares the crap out of you. Like, what the hell just happened? All of a sudden, my rod float went up on it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'd rather have it on it than not have it on it.
Yeah.
Especially, I found out the hard way. So I highly recommend having a rod float. I only have one rod that doesn't have one on it. It's because it's my travel rod that it's collapsible and the rod float doesn't, like, literally the collapsible rod is too big for the rod float to fit on it.
Oh,
Other than that, I have 4 rods and 3 of them have floats on it. So
I lost
highly
one
recommend
rod.
that.
Yeah. I think it's 2 years ago now, that trout pond where I lost that. It was a cheap rod, like a Shakespeare one that I got at Canadian Tire. It was like a combo deal, but I just set the rod down just right beside the kayak and it went straight in the water.
Right.
That's about the only one I think. But other than losing stuff in the water, I think that's the only thing I've ever lost. Which is a good thing.
I had a bad stretch there. So I had that when I flipped, I had lost a rod like there, and then I went out when it was very cold water, like it was like March, and I brought a one of my favorite ice fishing rods with me because I had my bass rods, but I'm like, if I see some perch or bluegill under me, I'm going to try to catch them with a little ice fishing rod.
Yeah.
And the damn thing fell in the water then too, and I'm like, damn it! I dropped my favorite ice fishing rod while kayak fishing, of all things,
Oh yeah.
So
man,
I had a bad stretch there, but I've been doing pretty well lately on not losing stuff.
Yeah, one good thing about ice too, I guess you don't lose too much. Sometimes I've seen rods go
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, I got that back though. I can't lie. That's another rod, I guess, that went down the hole. But I was like 3 feet for trout or whatever, and I seen it right down the hole.
I've seen people losing cell phones down the hole too.
Oh man!
Like leaning over and a cell phone comes out.
I don't have my cell phone ever in my pockets when I'm around, like in the tent sitting. I put it beside me for that exact reason. That would suck.
Okay, good.
And you can't get it back. You can put a magnet down there, but there goes your phone. What's the point?
Right.
Just leave it, I guess.
Their augers.
Yeah. Guys that take those. Yeah, we said that last stream or whatever. Those guys like the pistol bits or whatever. They take off their flange at the top. That's a little bit bigger than the hole. Then the drill, and then it comes off and boop right down the hole. There goes their auger. It's like, dude, what are you doing? Why do you do that? It's on there for a reason.
Well, the chuck will come undone, right?
Oh, for sure. Especially if the big old bit that long. Those things aren't really like.
I don't know how many times I have a disc on mine I put, but I've had it where you put it on and hook it up and it's all ready to go, and I'm like zip down a hole, and as soon as I go to pull it up, it comes off the chuck, and I'm reaching to grab it.
Man. Well, just even like some snag in the hole, and it's pulling a lot of pressure on it too. That's
Yeah, I always have something where I won't lose my auger because I always got something on it. I'm trying to find it, but I don't have it in here. But I got I don't have like a disc, but I have like a little cord that goes kind of around it.
Well, something though, if it works. Yeah, don't matter.
Right.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That Landworks auger, it's still holding together pretty good, but I gotta do the blades this year. They're completely dull. But as far as batteries for that company, they're not that great. I think I have a buddy that has a Striker, and the batteries just die so much quicker in the cold, but they weren't really designed because that company was out of California. So it was an afterthought. It's a
What company's that?
Landworks, that blue ice
auger?
Yeah, is California. Okay. They started out as like a postal auger drill, and then they wanted to expand up here to ice fishing, so they made the ice auger adaptation. But it's just the batteries aren't really meant for cold. So as soon as I'm done using it, I just put them right in the truck and keep them warm, or wrap them in something because they just won't last very long.
I've just been using a drill. I've been I got like this flex drill over here.
Oh yeah.
I've just been using this, and it's a lot of people swear by Milwaukee's or whatever, and somebody told me about this flex company, and they're a lot cheaper and they have a lot of torque on them, and I really like them.
Yeah. So that's brushless, then I assume. Hey.
Yeah, brushless. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a DeWalt.
DeWalt.
Yeah, I have the industrial version of. I forget the number of it, but I have the industrial version of the DeWalt, and I've had that for 4 years now, and it's brushless, and it's a tank. Like it's got 1,100 foot-pounds of torque or something like that, or.
Something.
I can't remember what the torques was, but mine was equivalent to like a Milwaukee, maybe even better. And
Yeah,
it's a kind of newer brand. Lowe's make, or I think it's
I've heard
exclusive
good
at
things about
Lowe's.
the flexes.
Yeah, I've had no problems with it. I've used it with both a 5-inch auger and an 8-inch auger, and it's just a total game changer for me. Like no issues at all. I mean, I'm not drilling through as much ice as you guys are,
Yeah.
but say I'm drilling through like 8 inches of ice, boom, right through. Whereas
Oh, it's nice to travel with it too.
Well, that's
it's
what I
awesome.
like.
Yeah, because you
like, I do a
backpack
lot
your
of
way in quite a
hiking.
bit. I don't. I go from the
Yeah,
truck, man.
right.
As soon
Yeah.
as I can, I'll drill out the window of the truck so I can get.
Right.
Yeah, I
Hold
literally
me
don't
by
have
the
anywhere to
feet,
walk.
guys, I'm going over.
Oh God, I don't even know if I made a video that one or was last winter. Maybe I did, I don't remember. But the fishing was super slow, so I drilled 2 holes. I put the jigger on the one hole, the jacker on the other hole, and the third hole I put the camera. And I ran everything in the truck with the camera and everything, and I just played on my phone and watched the camera from inside the truck with the auto jigger going. I felt so lazy, but also so awesome at the same time. Super lazy. That's why people make fun, ice fishermen people too, about having 2 rods and everything. Yeah, it was great though.
You need to do like a video. You do one where do a skit where it's me out and like I'm like hiking and then I'm running and I'm all
And I'm
over the place.
with my
And
feet
then
up
there's
in the
this guy
truck
over
eating
here.
popcorn, eating some ice cream and fucking.
That would be so funny.
Oh God, yeah, it is nice though some days, especially like something you can get on the ice. Some days, if you do want to set the tent up, you can just set up your units and then sit in the truck where it's warm. I do like that. It's like the mobile ice hut on wheels.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If I could get away with that, I would do it too, man. I don't blame you at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. Yeah, ice fishing's fun. Something.
There's a couple lakes that I go to, especially with trout for first ice, probably maybe next weekend, we'll see. But I'll set up like if it's just me, then I can only have 2 rods. But if it's like me and the kids, I'll have like a couple jaw jackers set up, and it's insane. You don't have time to sit in your truck. It's like boom, you're over there, you're catching a fish. All of a sudden, this one's off, and you're running over here, and you're catching a fish. And it's the first ice trout are like it's insane.
So fun. It's so
is.
fun. God, is it fun?
100%. I'll do it till about December, and then come December, I'll switch to like lake trout, walleye, pike, stuff like that. Then
Yeah.
perch.
Perch are so I really love like trout and panfish. I think is the funnest things that I like catching. Walleye's still fun, but I just love perch. I don't know, and they taste so darn good.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a perch in Lake St. Clair? Is there?
Oh yeah.
You've caught some of your
perch.
videos though, right?
Yeah, nothing like yours, but
Well,
I mean, if you can really get on them, you might catch like 12, 13, 14 inches, but
that's good
you're
perch.
catching things like that. You're catching things like that all the time, whereas
Not all the time.
I catch something like that. Yeah, I catch something like that. It's like the best perch I caught all year. I watch your videos and I'm like, damn, dude, I wish I could catch something like that.
There's some good
like
areas too, though. It
seems like every time you go out, it's like, I'm struggling a lot of times to catch 8-inch perch. Like I won't keep a perch usually unless it's like 9 inches.
Yeah.
And there's been days I catch 20 perch, but they're all 8 inches and less.
Man, the bigger ones are harder to catch. I don't think people realize how smart some of the bigger perch are. They're hard. I've watched them on the camera a lot too. They're just tougher to catch in general.
And they're usually not where the small ones are.
No, they're not. They're not with the small ones ever in the cameras or nothing. They're all off by themselves, the big guys. Yeah.
Usually if you find a big ball with small perch,
go somewhere else. Yeah.
Move to the sides of them.
Yeah.
Because they're usually on the outskirts.
Yeah.
I haven't caught
that's when I have caught them when I've been hole hopping.
Yeah.
I rarely have good video of them with that yo-yo camera of them because those are all like the dinky perch. Like usually the days I've been, I put that yo-yo away. I go hole hopping. I just bring my jet sled. I'm drilling like a hole every 5 minutes, a couple holes every 5 minutes, and I'm moving. That's when I catch the big ones usually.
Yeah, and they say too, like if you want to hole up and try and find the big ones, it's like 5 or 10 minutes a hole, and just keep moving. It is a lot of drilling for perch for sure, but That's why I know my batteries kind of. I guess the company gave me 3 batteries with it, but sometimes I'll use most of them throughout one day if it's like drilling a lot of holes. The one whole day, I think I drilled like 50 holes trying to find perch, and I don't even know if I got a video that one day, but maybe they just weren't biting as much either.
Right.
But super good. I think they're so good.
Now, how deep is the water when you're usually going out perch fishing?
8 feet, 10 feet,
Cody?
where some of the lakes are.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, usually
Okay,
even to like
deeper.
late winter, like it goes a little deeper, but I always find them closer to the edges. Everybody says deeper in the middle of winter, which is true to a degree, I guess, but I never go super deep, and I still catch them there. I don't know.
Okay.
But there's
I
still
thought you were
lots
way
of weeds
deeper in
and
that.
stuff too. I think there's a little bit anyway, I should say. So the bait fish might be kind of hanging around there still more, unless some lakes are completely gone, the weeds and shit. And so maybe they're not there. But I don't know. Lots
Yeah,
of
because
holes,
that's
I
about
guess.
what I'm in usually too, 8 to 10 feet
Yeah.
normally.
Yeah.
So
I know lots of people, like, there's still, I found some at 20 feet too, like looking for walleyes and stuff too. You see them on the camera. But yeah, they do like it deep though.
One of the lakes close to me here, there's like some like 20 to 25 inch walleye in it. And actually, the video that's coming out, I was out trying to find walleye, and every hole I find, I'd be like 15, 20 feet of water looking for, like, because it was late season, so the walleye they're really like off, right? They don't want to bite the hook, so you're working hard for them.
Oh yeah.
And everywhere I was going, I would go to a spot and I'd start fishing, put the camera down, and I'd turn it. All of a sudden, perch.
And it's sitting there like just looking at you. Oh god. Go. I seen a couple of my video, or I don't know if I saved them, but the freaking the perch would try and like nip at the camera a little bit too or something. Hang out. Freaking things.
Yeah,
they're really interesting to watch. They're just, I don't know. Fish are neat. You see them floating around. They look at it.
And you're gonna bring your kids out and stuff like that. The one thing my boys really enjoy now, since I got the camera, is the camera. They really like seeing the fish.
It is, yeah. Keeps them more entertained for sure. Especially if you're not catching any fish, you can watch them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, people think there's no fish in some places, but there is. If you get a camera, they're just not biting. They're always swimming by.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the best part, some of the lakes are so clear. Like, I go to a couple of them with that camera that are nice and clear, but there's some, it's like just virtually useless running the camera in some of them. Just too dirty. It kind of sucks, so try and make something else out of it. Or have you tried it putting the camera? I did this a couple times last year at a really dirty lake, but I put the camera just above the hole, like the bottom of the ice before they come out. It's a little more clear, but you kind of see the fish come up the hole. It's kind of cool to see, but new angles, I guess, if you can't use it at the bottom, it's too dirty.
I've never tried that yet.
Yeah. Is it pretty... I guess it's not that bad, hey? Some spots where you guys run the camera there? Yes and no, I guess.
Sometimes Lake St. Clair, I feel, can be dirty. That's why I almost want to try some other inland lakes.
Yeah.
That I know are usually more clear.
Smaller ones, yeah.
Yeah, I almost want to try that just to see if the footage will be better and see. And plus, a lot of these other inland lakes. One time with Beard Zero, I think not last year, but 2 years ago, we went to a lake in Oakland County. We caught a lot of bass, and that was a lot of fun. Catching bass out of the from under the ice.
Yeah.
And that lake is usually more clear. So I didn't have the camera when I did that, but I'm kind of thinking about maybe trying to go back there, bring the camera out there. I'm assuming the water will be more clear, better video, and then catching bass. I mean, I love catching perch, but catching bass out of the hole, you don't see a lot of videos out of.
Not really. No, hey.
No,
that'd be something if you could do a lot this winter. That'd be pretty cool. With the new,
I might try that this year.
Yeah.
Catching bass to the ice.
What would you use for hooks then?
It's funny. I wasn't even trying to catch bass. They have like these little Rapala ones that are what do you call them? I got them. I don't have them here. I thought I had them here, but they have these little Rapalas. A jigging wrap. I think that's what they call them. A jigging wrap.
Oh yeah.
I know which ones you mean, like the little tiny ones.
Yeah, and I was accidentally catching them on those, and then I caught some just on I caught some just on little jigs like this,
Oh yeah.
Like just little like little tungsten jigs.
That's pretty much what I
I
use
was
for perch and
you know,
trout and everything. They're
yeah,
called
I
rip
was
and
actually
wraps, the one you're talking about, right? I think that little
ripping, yeah,
rip and
ripping.
wrap. Yeah, I got a couple of those
Yeah, I
little
don't,
tiny ones, number 3 or
yeah,
4.
I
I
thought
forget
I
the hell
had them
number it
with
is.
me, and I don't. But
Yeah, they're
but
good
yeah, I
little
was
hooks.
catching them. Yeah, I was catching them on those by accident. I was trying to catch perch, and I caught like a couple 2-pound bass on those. And that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Catching them on like little. I was catching them on like little rods like that. Like little stupid
Oh yeah.
rods like that. Like a little
That's so tiny.
little rod. Yeah, like little stupid things like this. And where I basically got to stand up and like lift. There's no reeling. There's no reeling with this thing. So it was a lot of fun. So I might try that this year, going out to Oakland County and trying to catch bass and putting that a yo-yo camera under there.
Yeah.
Seeing if I can get some good footage on it. Because
if
I
it's
I got some footage on Lake St. Clair of bass hitting little jigs like this. And it was great. It was a lot of fun. So
yeah.
something about seeing that big bass hit that little jig,
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you do I bet it, a lot of the places that are dirty for me, for quality wise, for the lakes, it's just movement going through. Some of them's an irrigation ditch that would go through it at the end, field, and it goes out the other end. So it's always stir of sediment always going in shit. But the other ones that don't have much movement is the clear ones that I go to. So maybe you'll have better luck than to be a little clear. Because even the one camera might mark them. It doesn't work when it's dirty either. It doesn't matter when it's so dirty. Quality's gonna suck anyways.
Right. Yep. Yeah, I was trying to find some of those ripping wraps. I don't think I have them though. But I got all kinds of stuff in here. But I don't think I got the ripping wraps in there. Nah. But you know what I'm talking about? They got a little hook on the front and the back. They got little trebles underneath them and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, just a nice just a glide bait. Hang on a second.
Yeah.
I've got one close
by. You know what? I think I got them in here. Yeah, I'll show you what I was catching some bass on.
Just like these guys too, right?
Right here. I can't see on my camera because I'm looking at. I was using these little guys.
Oh shit! Yep, the same thing then. That's
same thing. Those were great early season.
I love those. Anytime they're so versatile. Those hooks too.
I find for
sometimes I was using I was using things. I was catching bass on that lake too, these little these.
What's that again? Can you show that?
These are McGathy slab grabbers.
Oh.
You jig them up and you jig them up and they'll
just
float.
glide ones too,
kind of
like
float down. They'll float.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I find late.
I'm excited. I got all this ice fishing stuff I haven't pulled out for a year now. I can't wait to use it.
I know everyone's itching to ice fish now. Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I won't use the rip and wraps late season because I find that generally it just this fish are so slow and their metabolism is so slow that you start ripping anything and they just spooks them, right?
Right.
Early season, it's just
early and late, pretty much mid's a little.
Yeah, early and late is perfect, but that January, February for us when it's they've been, there's no.
They're just
water.
Floating around.
Yeah,
just
you literally have to lay it in the dirt.
Yeah, they're just slowed as heck.
Yeah, and then you watch them and they come up and you're just pulling it up out of the dirt. You're pulling it up out of the dirt.
They just bump it like this.
They'll bump it,
and that's it.
They'll go like this, and you're like, wham! You're just launching the fish up through the hole at long speed.
Nail it up into the top of the tent.
Yeah. So, yeah, that video that I got coming out, that's exactly what I had to do. It is. But it was cool because it's a longer video, but it's based over a couple days. But it's also I have my camera on the fishing camera, the yo-yo, and it's really cool because it really shows how hard you had to work to get these fish to bite, and it's, I don't know, sometimes it's just playing it and sticking it out and seeing you get them to come up, they look at it, you jig it, and they're like, nah, I'm good. Peace out. And then you drop it, then you come up, and then they're looking at it, and then you just drop it right in the mud. And then you just drig it, and they'd come up and they grab it out of the mud, but they wouldn't grab it any other way.
I think it's just the little start of frenzy, the dirt. I've done that quite a bit, like before, just get them pounding in the mud a little bit. I've attracted more so some doing that, but yeah, sometimes it can make them bite a little better. I can get them wild up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Get them all frantic
Negative
there.
walleye, man, they are so hard sometimes.
Yeah,
they're just like people are like walleye aren't that hard to catch. It's like, man, try
they can
catching
be
them mid-season, like
yeah.
when they don't want to bite, they're hard.
Well, especially when they're full of other bait fish they can eat too, and there's a bunch of other things they're eating instead of it's just
perch.
different. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, the one like that has the walleye. They're not really big perch in this other one, but it's just there's so many perch in there. They're tiny ones, but they just the pike just go crazy on them. So it's kind of harder sometimes to get them to eat.
On backflip release fish. Don't do it. I don't know. Some people do. I watched a kid the other day football like fish into the water, but
yeah, I'm pretty easy on fish releasing, anyways.
I try to be. I definitely don't backflip fish.
No.
Not unless you don't want it. Carp, yeah, sure, do it.
Nobody likes carp. Man, there's a lot down. You know what I thought about getting is a bow. I want to get a crossbow with the setup there to fish them, because there's a couple of guys that I know in town that do it quite a bit, and they go south, and there's so many in the river, and they're getting like 20, 30 pound, like really, really, really big carp out of there. And you can get as many as you want in their faces or whatever the fuck. Get them out. And yeah, it'd be super fun to try that. The crossbow. I got that slingshot from that company. I never did go out and use it, but I thought about it. But then when I play with it, like, did you see that on the wrist, how it goes or whatever? There's like they give you like a leather guard or whatever, and then the dart's like way back here. Like, I'm gonna stick myself in the arm with this fucking thing. I don't trust using it.
You let it go.
Oh yeah, dude, it's a metal freaking dart. It's like 10 inch or 8 inches, man. Like, and I'm just training with this thing. I'll be in the middle of nowhere and get a freaking thing stuck through my wrist.
Get a freaking dart in your neck. Yeah.
I know. That's why I didn't use it yet. Yeah, and it comes with a little glove too. So I got a glove and then the thing on the wrist or whatever. But it looks fun. But I just didn't use it yet. Maybe I should just give it to somebody else who's one braver than I am.
That would be cool.
Yeah. I seen a couple videos of guys using them after I got it just to see how good they were. And this guy in this boat, like, got a lot of carp. And they're just floating around, just stabbing them, getting them. It's pretty neat, though.
I'd bow hunt carp for sure.
My buddy, he bow hunts a lot. He's pretty good. And I think he had the fishing attachment or whatever for his too. He was using the one time, but yeah, it'd be fun.
Or guys who do it for like alligator gar and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's intense.
Yeah. I want to go fly fish for alligator gar. That is fun. That looks cool. It looks like fun. Yeah. You use these flies they're called rope flies. There's no hook. It's just like basically like a fly with like this like almost like piece of rope on the back.
Oh.
Because they have so much teeth, right? When they hook into it, it's like a mop fly basically.
Oh, they just get stuck in it?
Yeah, it gets stuck in their teeth. Yeah.
What? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Go fishing with a mop in the water then.
Yeah, right. Bow and arrow.
Yeah. Huh. Something new. Holy moly. You guys getting tired yet? I might bounce pretty soon.
I was going to say, I think I might bounce here.
Yeah, it's been a little bit.
Yeah, you're 2 hours ahead, hey? 12. It's like just about 2 o'clock your time.
Yeah, it's 1:45.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oh god.
That's pretty late. Oh, that's cool. We still got some viewers, so we meet more people. That's cool. People are talking more this stream, so that's neat. Get to talk more and meet some people.
That is cool.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, we're gonna try and do scheduled streams. We have the plan and then pick agendas, but we're kind of randomizing it right now. But tonight we had something to talk about and everything, so it worked out pretty good. If you have ideas too, you can just pick a topic and everything. A couple more guys. I'm sure we can get more people doing it too. So this is like our third one, I guess. We haven't been doing too many. Just
No.
random nights too.
We've been really horsing around, like playing with it. So
Yeah.
figuring it out.
Works out pretty good though. Yeah, that's cool. Then we can pick another day sometime, or I guess weekends probably if anything, because or we do it earlier because you're 2 hours difference, which kind of sucks for you though if you got to work too, and if you don't have to work.
Right. Yeah. If I'm not working the next day, it's usually not a problem. Unless I'm going out fishing the next morning. Like if I was going out fishing tomorrow morning, it'd just be a little late. Seeing as I usually wake up,
Yeah.
5 in the morning to go fishing. But I'm not going fishing tomorrow, so this worked out really well for me. So
Cool.
no problem at all.
Yeah, and like no one, like the quality was good for everybody too. No one like stuttered out or anything.
No.
It worked pretty
No,
good. Yours
quality
is doing
was good, especially the audio was really good. So
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
that's the main thing.
Cool, man. Well, thanks everybody. We'll make another date, and we'll pick a date that everyone it works for everybody. Then maybe advertise it. We can start doing that. Then people would know too.
Yeah.
More people, I guess.
Yeah.
We're winging this,
Good.
man. Throw us ideas too. So,
Well, we'll figure
whatever.
it out.
Yeah. Don't plan too much. Then you're not disappointed in anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool.
Let
All
it take
right then.
whatever it turns into.
Cool. Go. Good night, everybody. I guess. Hey.
All right. Thanks, Cody, for inviting me over.
Later.
Guys.
Nice